Hey, Nelly. I can't deal with that.
No, it's my headphones over here. You hear that?
Yeah, mine too, though.
True.
You are listening to Radio Lex, the voice of the people. WLXU 93.9 LPFM, Lexington, Kentucky.
Radio Lex
Okay,
is
30
a popular
seconds.
brand. Good neighbors, good drivers. Did you know an unbelted person hitting a windshield in a 40-mile-an-hour crash feels the same force as someone hitting the ground after falling off a 5-story building? State Farm and Radio Lex remind you that seatbelts are the most effective safety feature on your vehicle. They can reduce the risk of fatal injury up to 60%. Be a good neighbor. Buckle up.
It takes a great community to make great community radio.
Hi, I'm Tara from Treehouse Goods, located in the Julietta Market at Gray Line Station
I didn't
on
do
the
it.
corner of Loudon and Lime.
I didn't do it.
You are listening to Radio Lex, the voice of the people. WLXU 93.9 LPFM Lexington.
All right. No.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily.
I would have let
Lexington
it play had it
Community
been like
Radio or its
maybe
board of
another Ric Flair
directors.
song.
The views expressed are solely those of the programmers.
You are listening to Off the Cuff. Now, here's your host, Adam Banks.
Welcome everybody to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks coming at you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for listening to the show and thank you for tuning in to WLXU 93.9 FM. In addition to listening to us on the radio, you can check out our Facebook live stream at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, or you can download the Radio Lex app on your smartphone device to listen to us anywhere in the entire world. Amber Turner and I are both broadcasting from the Deborah Hensley Studios here at Radio Lex on North Limestone. Amber, we both are in our 30s.
Thank you for reminding me.
I'm 34. You will soon be 34.
Hey, I still have a few months.
I know, it blows my mind that I'm that much older than you. I always thought that we were the same age, but we're really not.
Oh, well, I mean, it's what, like six months?
A half a year.
Well, you know what?
I'm a little wiser then.
Ah, come on.
But when you know older people, don't you sometimes tend to want to get advice from older people?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, because older people bring a perspective to things sometimes that you never thought of.
Well, yeah, they've usually already been through it.
They've been through it. They've seen a few things. They've been to the fair and they've seen the bear. They've climbed the mountain and they've seen the other side. But the generation that, and I'm never really good with generation, like the names of it. I know that we're considered millennials.
Yes.
That's what we're considered. And the younger crowd is considered Gen Z.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the babies that are born right now, I don't really know what they are. Do you?
I up the creek without a paddle.
And then there is the people right before us, a little bit older than us. They're called like Y or whatever, Gen Y.
Oh.
But there's also a generation called the baby boomers.
Yeah, now that one I know for sure.
The baby boomers, you know who you are if you're out there. A lot of our parents are baby boomers. A lot of our parents. So the people who raised us were most likely in that generation of the baby boomers. And I'm here to tell you that if you've ever got advice from a boomer, it might not be the best advice. Now, I'm all about getting advice from older people because I'm all about learning new things and seeing things from a different perspective. But sometimes boomers are out of touch with reality.
Maybe they're just going senile.
They're set almost into a way that the way things used to be, and they're still have that same mindset like nothing has changed in the world.
No, like we're still using typewriters by the candlelight.
So I reached out to the internet and I started looking at what other people say about this, and I found a great article on BuzzFeed. You ever get on BuzzFeed?
All the time.
And it was talking about Gen Z and millennials are calling out baby boomers for giving advice that's been unhelpful, toxic, or outdated. So I have a list here of some of the advice that maybe a boomer in your life has given you.
All right, let's see.
There's the typical what you should do in your 20s advice. And all I want to say sometimes to the boomers who give us advice of what we should do in our 20s is saying, bro, when you were in your 20s, it was only $15 total to fill up your gas tank. And you could literally buy a house after working part-time for 6 months.
Yeah, not no more.
Not no more. Times have changed. Things are not the same anymore. It's like jobs. You ever notice how somebody, their first job ever right out of college or right out of high school, they were directing a department? That stuff don't happen no more.
No.
You could be directing and managing a whole department in a college, and you didn't even have to have a college degree.
Yeah, and you'd be like 18 years old. Graduated last semester.
Okay, here's the relationship advice that boomers give.
Oh, gross.
The relationship advice that ignores red flags. Because a lot of people back in the day in that generation, they stayed with people regardless of the physical abuse or the cheating that occurred in the marriage or the relationship. So they have no right to give us advice on marriage if they stayed in a marriage that was that toxic.
Yeah, and I always give my granny credit all the time. And I'm going to call her out for that one because that is the one thing she'd always say, well, now, Cece, you just, stay and love your man. No, Granny, no.
Stand by your man.
And that's a whole day. There's your boomers right there. Stand by your man. No way.
The just buy a house advice. I got that a lot from boomers when I was in my 20s.
Oh,
Just get a
yeah.
house while you're renting. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your money. But guys, you got to understand the market today is it's like this. It's like opening up a newspaper and reading this 1.5 bedroom, 500 square foot house with a half bathroom and no roof in a quaint little neighborhood is on the market for $450,000. But
Well, now, see, she'll spend that in a year's worth of rent. No, I will not. That's what I used to hear. My papa would always say, you going to spend as much money as you would just getting you a house in a month's worth of, a year's worth of rent.
back in the day, yes, you could afford things like that. The housing market is ridiculous. Even a $450,000 house, you got to go ask $60,000 above that market asking price if you want to even be considered a serious buyer. There is the talking about jobs. Have you ever heard a boomer say, well, you ain't never going to get nothing sitting on your tail all day. Get up and walk right on in. Hand them your application. Hand them your resume. They don't let you do that no more. Everything is online. Everything has to be sent in digitally.
And if you do that now, you definitely ain't getting the call back. I mean, I couldn't even imagine walking up to a place. Y'all hiring?
Y'all hiring?
Y'all hiring?
Back in the day, you could do that. You could walk in and say, are you hiring? If you do that now, they're going to say, yeah, just go to our website and apply online.
They're going to just give you that look and be like, you need to go to personnel.
But I hear people all the time, they'll say, well, so-and-so's never going to find a job just sitting around all day. Literally, you have to sit around all day to find a job. You have to sit in front of a computer.
Literally, people get paid now to sit at home and work from their jobs.
Yes. There's always the panicked advice from boomers they give you when you're not in college. They take a shot at you and they try to give you advice for not being in school. Lord, you need your college education these days.
You don't get nowhere in life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you didn't even make it out of the 3rd grade. What are you over here talking about right now? I'm not going to make it in life. Come on.
Well, and then there's the unrealistic financial advice. It's like, I love baby boomer financial advice. It's like rent out of one of your holiday homes, do 2 overseas trips a year instead of 3. You don't need filet. Rump is a perfectly acceptable cut of steak. They don't want you to buy an expensive meal out because they think that that's going to jeopardize your rent the next month.
And and what I always want to say is, okay, well, won't you go buy that rump and let me see you eat it? Let me see what you're buying. Well, I'm old enough to get what I want. Me too, man.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. And they think this generation on social media, they think the generation today is on social media too much.
Oh.
Granny, you are surfing the web every single day.
And you're the ones that are on there posting all of your unnecessary family secrets and putting like backgrounds, flowery backgrounds on it.
Yeah.
Like lost my husband of 52 years today with a flower background. And I'm like, what are you? Get off the internet. Get off. I thought you were supposed to be crocheting and watching Murder, She Wrote.
Or you never miss the opportunity for Memaw to get on and complain about what's going on in politics. You know, I don't know how many I Heart Donald Trump supporters I've seen from the baby boomers that stayed on social media. The same people that tells kids to get off social media is on it themselves.
On it even more.
On it even more. And it blows my mind. So, baby boomers, I love you and I do respect your advice, but you have to put yourself in the world today. It's not like it used to be back when you were our age.
I'm just thinking of all the weird things people have said. I think the best one is always going to be, when you gonna have you some kids? Life ain't complete until you have kids.
I love that too, because if children was the key to all happiness, there would be less overdoses, there would be less alcoholics, there would be less depression, because you mean to tell me that if you have kids, you're not going to get depressed? You mean to tell me if you have kids, you're not going to want to drink? You're going to tell me that people with kids don't do drugs? I mean, they must not if kids is the key to all happiness, right? There's no depressed people that have kids. If kids is the key to all happiness, then there's no such thing as a depressed parent, right?
You know, the best one was, when you going to grow up and have you some kids? That was my favorite. When you going to grow up and have you some kids?
So you're not growing up without kids?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm, almost 34, own my own home, own my own vehicle. I'm pretty sure I'm
Having
grown
kids
woman.
is the easiest thing in this world to do.
It is easier to, it is harder to not.
What I'm
have
trying to say,
children.
now I'm not talking about these parents who are trying to have kids and literally their bodies won't let them.
No.
But you can still go out and be a parent. Being a parent, becoming one, having a child is so easy. Anybody, literally anybody could go out and do it. I know people who don't even know how to write their name. They've had children before.
Oh, yeah.
But it's harder to go out and actually do other things. Having a kid is easy, so I don't measure kids as a level of success.
No.
I don't.
No, but you only get fulfilled in life and become a grown-up when you have them.
When you gonna grow up and have some kids?
Hey, you know what? I'll grow up and have kids when everybody I know stops hating their own.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back after these words. Stick with us.
From Success Academy, you're listening to Radio Lex, the voice of the people, WLXU 93.9 LPFM.
Radio Lex and State Farm present Good Neighbors, Good Drivers. Did you know 1 out of every 4 traffic fatalities in the U.S. is a result of speeding? State Farm and Radio Lex remind you to be a good neighbor, take it easy, slow down, and get where you're going safely.
If you're sitting at your computer right now, you can stream Radio Lex in English on WLXU 93.9 FM and in Spanish on WLXL 95.7 FM simply by visiting radiolex.us. While you're there, click donate and make a gift to the voice of the people. Give as little as $10 a month and earn a place on the Radio Lex sponsor wall at the Gray Line Station and Market.
Radio Lex has the support of vinyl sponsor Holly Hughes.
This is a good cup of
Thanks,
coffee.
Holly.
I didn't make it, that's why it's good.
This is a really good cup of coffee. Ooh. Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. Second segment. Amber, we were talking about boomers giving advice. Sean on the show thread, he says, older people are normally the ones commenting on every political meme shared by any source, no matter how dubious. What does dubious mean?
I think that means not credible. Stuff like that or outrageous, Sean.
Don't be
That's what
dropping
it means.
words that I.
$5 words.
Yeah.
What are you doing $5 words today, Sean?
But that's true. They'll drop a source. Boomers will drop something on the internet with. They'll read the headline and then just share it, or they'll read anything and not look at the source. And I'm like, where did you get the source?
My favorite though is when people will share what is supposed to be maybe an image of Jesus, and they're like, don't pass this up if you love the Lord. And I'm like, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's literally from Star Wars. That is not. What are you doing?
Amber, last week we talked about we talked about logos.
Yeah.
Brand logos, because Off the Cuff has a new brand logo. I love the logo. It's now on everything that we have, the new Off the Cuff with Adam Banks logo. But we talked about the most iconic brand logos that exist. And we talked about how important it is to have a good logo for a company.
Oh, yeah.
But we never really discussed how important it is to have a good brand slogan.
See, when you said slogan, I think I'm confused because I don't really know what a brand slogan is. So please school me because I know you're going to.
What is a brand slogan? Well, a slogan is just a simple catchphrase to identify the company, kind of like just a tagline.
Okay.
To identify, you should be able to identify a company by just this little phrase that's being said for the company. So a slogan is very, very important. We don't have one here at Off the Cuff.
Maybe we should.
Maybe we need to come up with one. Sometimes I'll say things when we go off the air, just experimenting with things to say, but nothing's really ever stuck. But coming up with a catchy slogan that defines your brand and really solidifies it in the minds of your customers is difficult to assign a true value to. But I think about all of the important brands out there that we know and the successful brands out there that we know. They all have good slogans. So it makes you wonder, is it the slogan that makes people remember this brand, that makes the brand more successful? Of course, I think that these are good brands, but I think that the slogans make them stay around a lot longer than probably what they would have without this good slogan.
Well, I'm excited to hear some of them because I don't know, I can't tell you one brand slogan. So I know you're going to school me.
Well, I'm sure you've heard of this one. Taste the rainbow.
Oh. Skittles?
That's Skittles.
Okay.
So you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That would be considered a slogan.
Okay.
Taste the rainbow.
Okay.
Okay, here's another one. Just do it.
Nike.
That's Nike.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Just by
saying these slogans, you're understanding what that brand is. You're able to identify the brand by just saying a
little catchphrase.
Little tagline.
Okay.
There is Disney that has the slogan, "The happiest place on earth." Did you know that they've been using that slogan since its beginning, since the park first opened in Anaheim, California, Disneyland? And so Disneyland, Disney World, you do know it's two separate places, right?
Yeah.
Disneyland is in LA or
Disney.
Anaheim.
Yep.
And then Disney World is in Orlando.
Yep.
So the one in California was actually the first.
Oh.
That's the biggest.
Okay.
That's actually considered the main one. The main one.
Ooh.
And I think that maybe we think it's the one in Florida because we're closer there.
Well, that's the only one I've been to.
There is Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings. Maybelline. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
I like that one.
There's McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Uh-huh.
Finger licking good. What brand is that?
KFC, baby.
KFC. Listen to this. The slogan was reportedly created off the cuff, no pun intended,
Oh.
by a restaurant manager at the then promising little fast food chain in the 1950s. As the story goes, KFC's founder Harlan Sanders would often appear in the company's early ads eating a plate of fried chicken in the background of a scene. After one of the ads aired, a woman called the TV station complaining, "Mr. Harmon was licking his fingers." which is disgusting, by the way, right?
Absolutely.
People that lick their fingers
I can't.
after they eat, don't do that.
I do that all the time.
But after that, a franchise in Arizona spontaneously replied, well, it is finger licking good.
Oh, geez.
And the rest is history.
Look at there.
Yes.
Of course somebody would call and complain.
There is Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats. Their slogan is Snap, Crackle, Pop.
Yeah.
Now, that is one of the oldest catch slogans out there, is Snap, Crackle, Pop. That actually come from a radio commercial, because they said on the radio, they did a little radio commercial for the cereal saying that they're the only cereal that can talk back to you.
Oh.
So they snap, crackle, and pop. So people would buy the cereal to hear the snap, crackle, and pop.
And how disappointed were they?
Maxwell House, their slogan is good to the last drop. Burger King is have it your way.
Okay.
Subway, eat fresh. M&M, melts in your mouth, not in your
Not in
hands.
hands.
L'Oreal, because you're worth it.
Oh.
It gives you an uplifting feeling about the product.
I know, it's kind of like a little affirmation.
Because you're worth it, yes.
Yeah.
The Energizer,
Keeps going.
and going. That's
and
the
going.
that's the slogan. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you've heard that. Since the year 2000, Capital One has been promoting its credit card services with this catchy slogan, eventually using it to promote their banking and financial services through a series of campaigns featuring Jennifer Garner.
Mm.
A lot of celebrities, a lot of commercials and advertisers will use celebrities to sell products. Jennifer Garner was on Capital One. They used to use Michael Jordan to sell Hanes.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have Kobe Bryant sell Sprite. O.J. Simpson used to. They used to have him sell the Hertz cars, run through the airport,
yeah.
catching the Hertz
Yes.
cars. William Shatner, Expedia,
Expedia. Or is he Priceline?
or Priceline.
Yeah, Priceline.
Priceline. A lot of celebrities will sign big major market deals with advertisers because they get paid well. Matthew McConaughey, didn't he do one for Mercedes and Wild Turkey?
Probably. That sounds about like him.
Any other celebrities that you know of that have been always featured on commercials? I'm sure there's more.
Oh, Julia Roberts does the whole thing with Lancome, with all of their perfume. She's in all of their videos.
Oprah Winfrey, she does Weight Watchers.
She does do Weight Watchers.
She does Weight Watchers.
I think the funny ones, though, now are the people who are not so famous that are cutting out and doing the not so good product placement ones. Who is the dude, the John Tucker Must Die, what is his name? Jesse Metcalf. Remember back in the day, Teen Heartthrob, and I think he was doing something for stool softeners the other day. And I was like, well, how the mighty fall on that one.
Chris Paul, he's another celebrity. He plays basketball. He does the State Farm. But it's not just regular people that are in commercials. They put celebrities more and more these days to sell products. It just works.
It does.
Add in a catchy slogan, a good jingle, which we've talked about, and have a celebrity, you can't go wrong.
See, that's where I was getting confused with jingles and slogans. That's where my confusion was coming.
Jingles are the songs.
Okay, so like Stanley Steamer,
yes.
carpet. That would be a jingle and not a slogan?
Correct. Like, the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. That could be a slogan, but but you can use the slogan in the jingle.
Okay.
Because they've made it into a song. It's a whole song. I played the song on the show.
That literally, when I brought up the Stanley Steamer, that was the first thing I thought about. I was like, wait, is this song a slogan or a jingle?
Sean Powell on the show thread, he says, just copy McDonald's. I'm cuffing it. That's a good one. That's a great one. That is a great one. And he's also on the show thread trying to explain what that word means. Dubious. Sean's all over the show thread today. Good to see him. I haven't seen him in a while. This is one of the most famous slogans of all time. Got milk?
Milk.
How popular was that slogan?
Well, was it just for milk in general, like just milk in a whole?
It was for the
particular brand.
No, it was for a particular brand, the California Milk Processor Board.
Oh,
so I'm guessing that it was. I guess the California Milk Processor Board is the people who produce milk, just of all kinds, right?
I don't know.
It worked.
Yeah.
It made me want to have a glass of milk.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I'm like, I know Save-A-Lot did not pay for them to, get all the celebrities to come and promote their milk. I know that ain't happening.
And all it was people would just have a little milk mustache, and they would, after drinking, and they'd say, got milk? So many people did it. Stone Cold. Everybody.
Well, then, we had to have the attractive ones of people getting on there scantily clad drinking milk.
And it was just a black background with white lettering, got milk. They don't do that no more, do they?
They probably went through all the people they could.
Yeah. There's Wendy's, where's the beef?
Oh, I like that one.
I miss Dave Thomas, though. The owner of Wendy's.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
I never knew.
Mm-hmm. He used to be on Wendy's commercials. Lay's, bet you can't eat just one. That traces back to the early 1960s. It was an advertising slogan which Lay's came up with, basically trying to give you the impression that once the bag is open, before you know it, all the chips are gone because you just can't eat one.
Well, I mean, they were just foreseeing the future because now you mostly just get air in those Lay's bags.
State Farm, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. MasterCard is, there are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Dollar Shave Club is shave time, save money. Kellogg's Frosties is, they're great.
Yeah.
Campbell's Soup is, good. Wheaties was the breakfast of champions, which people still use that slogan all the time. This is the breakfast of champions, they'll say.
I feel like any good breakfast, I'll say, this is the breakfast of champions.
Well, think about how popular, just insignificant in pop culture, the Wheaties box.
Oh, all over.
Came.
Athletics.
Well, to be on the box of a Wheaties cereal box was an accomplishment.
Oh, yeah.
That was like being on a billboard in Times Square.
Well, because they mostly catered to people who had done or had, excelled at usually sports, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yes. Like Bruce Jenner was on there, Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
Mike Tyson. So you had your greatest sports athletes. Toyota, let's go places. Wrigley's Double McGum, double your pleasure.
Double fun.
Double your fun. And then some honorable mentions. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority says their slogan is, what happens here stays here. Budweiser is the king of beers. CoverGirl is easy, breezy, beautiful. The Empire State Development Services is I Heart New York. You know that I Heart New York symbol?
Yeah.
That's New York's slogan.
Well, yeah.
I love New York.
I love New York.
That's another synonymous pop culture phenomenon.
It's just that I with a heart, and then it's usually NYC or...
NY.
Yeah, NY.
Yeah, it's usually just the NY. I love New York, right?
I think I have, I know I have one at home, but I think it's just NY on the one I have.
Yeah, I think the NYCs are the fake ones you get at Chinatown.
Where do you think I buy my stuff at? It's like you don't even know me.
K Jewelers is every kiss begins with K, and Bounty is the quicker picker-upper. So those are the best and most iconic brand slogans of all time. Can you think of any that I left off?
Well, look, you confused me all to death at the get-go because I didn't know what the definition of a slogan was, so I can't think of none right now.
Donna on the show thread says, sing another jingle, Adam.
Well, bust us another one.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer is your carpet cleaner.
That lives rent-free in my head.
That's a good song. That's a jingle. But good stuff. Good stuff. And we talked about slogans. Not slogans, but we talked about logos last week on the show. And I get so mad when I leave off logos I wish I would have mentioned.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention the NBC logo, the Peacock, and the CBS.
Well,
those are some of the most iconic logos out there, and I didn't even mention the TV station logos. Those are pretty recognizable.
Well, we went more for product placement on that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there you go. Those are the slogans and some of the most iconic slogans of all time.
Well, which one's your favorite out of all of them?
I would say just do it.
Just, of course.
Nike's is the most simplistic, and it's just very relatable. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just get up and do it. Just get up and go. Just do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The JT from the Radio Lex from the Sets Academy, the voice of the people, WLXU 93.9 LPFM, Lexington, Kentucky.
Hey Mom, what are you
Why did my
I'm installing
music didn't work a while ago? That was weird.
Don't you have enough
stuff on your
I
phone?
was just, you got it working, and that's
I
all
did.
I
The
care
Ready
about.
Lexington app shows me all of the weather
Did you
watches
just-
and warnings that we need to know in case of severe weather.
Like floods and tornadoes?
Yes, and lightning and thunderstorms. Plus, it has a checklist to make sure our emergency kit has everything we need.
So we're ready for anything?
So we're ready for anything.
There's nothing more important than staying up to date before, during, and after emergencies. The Be Ready Lexington app from Lexington Emergency Management can help you do just that. Go to the Apple or Google Play Store and download the Be Ready Lexington app to your iPhone, iPad, or Android phone or tablet. As soon as you install it, you'll have all the information you need to be prepared right at your fingertips. Learn more about how to be ready for emergencies at BeReadyLexington.com.
It takes a great community to make great community radio. Radio Lex can't do it without you. Support the voice of the people today. Visit radiolex.us/donate and support Lexington's community radio right now.
Radio Lex has the support of vinyl sponsor Holly Hughes. Thanks, Holly.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. All right. We've talked about what it's like to get advice from boomers on the show, being in our 30s. Sometimes can get a little frustrating. But Amber, there's a lot of things that become learning curves when we're in our 30s. We don't have everything figured out.
No.
We're still growing, and we always should be growing. 30-year-olds don't have it all figured out.
No, don't want to neither.
It might look like we do, but we don't.
Uh-uh.
But one of the things that we always should keep doing in life is becoming better people. Evolving. If you're not evolving, if you're the same person you were 10 years ago, that's a problem.
We got a big problem.
You got to change. And Amber, do you have any bad habits?
Absolutely. We don't have enough time left in the show.
What's one of the biggest habits that you have that you wish that you could just drop?
I bite my fingernails.
I would go with that one too.
Yeah, I bite my fingernails all the time.
I pop my fingers a lot.
I know, you pop my fingers a lot too.
I get gratification. I get gratification with that sound. Friends don't let friends pop fingers.
Friends don't let friends pop fingers.
But I will say that there are some habits that I have that I wish I could drop. But Amber, there's a lot of bad habits out there that exist that I'm sure not just you and I have, some of our listeners may have.
I have a feeling you made this list off of observations you made with me.
Well, I do have a list
Oh,
of bad habits that you should drop before turning 35. And I came up with that number because I'm 34.
Giving yourself a little time.
Giving myself a little more time.
Grace period.
Now, if I was like 28, I would have said 30.
Exactly.
But now it's at that point where I have to make everything 35.
Oh, man.
So, one of the things that you should stop doing before you get 35 is snacking all the time. There's no point in snacking all the time. I'm not talking to you. Stop looking at me.
Snacking all the time.
But we know that not only is it bad for your weight, but it could be bad for your health. We're at that age to where we got to be more mindful of what we put in our body, and so late at night. And I don't know about you, but when I eat at night, my stomach the next morning is rocking and a rolling.
Well, yeah, because your body didn't properly have time to digest it.
Right.
You got to eat at least 2 hours before you go to bed.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because sometimes I will eat and then just go straight to bed.
Why do you hate yourself?
And then I will wake up in the middle of the night, have to use the bathroom, or in the next morning. And the thing is I wake up to where there's no room for air. I have enough time to get up, grab my keys, grab my wallet, put my clothes on, fix my hair, brush my teeth, and go out the door. But if I have to use the bathroom, that's about 20, 30 minutes that I don't have, that I didn't take into account. So I have to stop snacking all the time.
Well, do it about 2 hours before you go to bed.
I've got a gear to get this right. So
well,
we're going to start now. Throwing yourself on the couch to watch TV for hours. You can waste so much just mindless time just wasting away on the television.
Or now look, you could follow Get Moving Weight Loss, and I'll show you all kinds of workouts you can do on your couch while you're watching your TV.
There you go. Spending money you might not have.
Well, why are you attacking me again? That's always me.
Well, I think about me, for instance. I want a fence really bad. My neighbors are like little snakes. They're starting to slither around because the weather's getting good.
Lingering in the yard.
They're starting to squirm around, and I'm starting to get annoyed with it. So I want a fence.
Yeah.
But I don't really have the money right now to get one. So I don't really need to go out and buy that. So I'm going to be responsible and not do that.
Well, now look, though, would you consider that one an irresponsible purchase or a responsible purchase? I would put that under the responsible purchase.
If you could, yes, it's a great investment.
Yeah.
It's just you really got to be able to afford it. Eating too much junk food, same thing. Be mindful of what you put into your body. Same with going with eating because you were stressed.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to make the stress go away.
No.
Biting your nails, I put on this list. It's something that people don't need to at the age of 35 because, Amber, it's disgusting.
It's nasty.
It's gross. You're putting your fingernails in your mouth. Think about what's under your fingernails.
Well,
could be feces.
Now look, I don't have any fingernails, so
because you chewed them off.
I'm just really eating skin is what I'm doing.
Yes, I hate it though when people bite their fingernails down to the quick.
I knew that was good.
We've talked about this before. When people will bite their fingernails down to the quick, that's the most disgusting thing. I would rather you have fingernails from here to Timbuktu.
Oh, you hush. That's nasty.
Than to have short fingernails.
Now that's nasty.
I don't think more nastier than short to the quick fingernails. Though.
Well, at least when I go to wipe my rump, I don't have anything that sticks with me.
Surrounding yourself with people who don't appreciate you is a habit that you need to drop before you turn 35. My God, isn't that the truth?
Drop it now.
Drop it now.
Like today.
Surround yourself with people who appreciate you. If people don't appreciate what you bring to the table, you don't need them. If they're always constantly bullying you, making fun of you, laughing at you, crushing on your dreams, drop that person.
I'd rather hang out with myself.
Not putting on sunblock is a habit that you need to drop.
Yes, I'm going to agree with that one.
There's a whole song about why wearing sunscreen is important.
Especially here in the beautiful Bluegrass area, we are known as Skin Cancer Alley. So if you're around here, sunscreen.
It really is. I mean, the daily regimen of putting on sunscreen is very important, and a lot of people just overlook it. I know I did. Because growing up, it was never taught to me. I was always taught to brush my teeth, fix my hair, and that was really it. I wasn't really told to put on moisturizer. I wasn't told to put on sunscreen. So I grew up not really doing it. But now, just learning things about life, I try to incorporate sunscreen. Not as much as I should. It's a bad habit, but this list is all personal for me most of the time. But yes, not putting on sunblock is a habit that you need to break.
I agree.
Living angry, worried, or stressed.
Ain't gonna do nothing for you.
It's not. That's a habit people need to break. If you're angry, if you're worried, or you're stressed, don't do it. You shouldn't worry about things that are out of your control. There's nothing you can do. You don't need to live angry. That's not going to make anybody else miserable except you. Well, it can make everybody else miserable around you.
Well, eventually you end up by yourself and you're just going to be alone and angry.
Alone and angry. Or live life stressed. Break that habit of living life stressed all the time.
Yeah, what's the point?
Get out. Enjoy your walk. As soon as you start your walk, don't think in your head, I can't wait to get back from my walk.
Or let me take a picture right fast so I can post this. And then let me run back in the house.
Yeah. Go on your walk. Leave your phone at home. Stop and enjoy the walk. Stop and actually smell the flowers. Pick rose petals off the flowers if you have to.
Not off your nose.
Put your feet in the grass and let the grass go through your toes.
Yeah.
Feel nature.
That's a nice feeling.
Don't skip breakfast. Skipping breakfast is a bad habit.
It's a bad habit, and it is a setup for failure for your whole day.
Skipping breakfast can affect your weight, but it also affects your blood sugar levels and energy levels, which can have larger ramifications. One missed meal may ruin your whole day.
Exactly.
Drinking too much alcohol now this is not on the list because it's me. You know that I don't drink. But drinking too much alcohol is a habit that people have to drink, have to stop.
And more people have it than what we realize.
It's such a poisonous drug out there that's so accessible, that's so easy to get. So you have to be careful with it, because if you're still drinking like you was at college before you turn 35, or when you turn 35, you've got an alcohol problem.
Well, now look, you also know that I don't really drink. And last night, Adam, I had me a little mixed drink.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, oh gosh.
Oh, yeah?
I have felt bad all day.
Well, it's poison.
Yeah, ain't for me.
Yeah. The older I get, the more my body rejects it. But alcohol is very addictive.
Mm-hmm.
It can chemically change your brain to where your body has to have it, your brain has to have it to even function normally. And alcohol, nobody wants to call their friends or loved ones an alcoholic. They'll say, oh, they have a drinking problem. No, they're alcoholics.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a drinking problem, you're an alcoholic.
It's one of those things because it's so socially acceptable.
It's so socially acceptable.
It makes it difficult when somebody is having a problem. Well, everybody else drinks. Well, maybe I'm not talking to everybody else. I'm talking to you.
It's so accessible.
Uh-huh.
So accessible, and it's so accepted in society.
Oh, it's accepted and even promoted in most places. How many times you been somewhere and you feel like you have to drink?
Oh, it is so promoted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
when you walk into a bar, it's beer signs, alcohol signs galore. When you walk to any festival, advertising of alcohol everywhere. You feel left out if you're not drinking.
Yeah.
It's glorified. Smoking, don't really have to elaborate a lot of time on that. You gotta quit. It's unhealthy. It's been proven. Smoking cigarettes is something you need to cut out.
Does that include my vape?
Probably. I wouldn't say it's the healthiest thing. Taking too much medication without consulting a physician first is a habit that you need to break. Being in toxic relationships, it's not worth it. Being late to everything.
I can't handle that.
That's very rude. It's obnoxious. It's annoying, and nobody likes a late person all the time.
Once or twice I can understand, but I know people who are perpetually late to the point that we will tell them, this is, again, letting go of toxic people, but, we'd say, 30 minutes earlier was when we're going to start something because we knew this person would be late.
Looking for other people's approval is something that you need to get out of. Don't worry about doing something to please somebody for 5 seconds in that moment when you have to live your whole life for the rest of those 24 hours. It ain't worth it. I'm not going to, for instance, I'm not going to go get married to please you for 10 seconds in a moment when I have to go live with this person for 365 days out of the year. It's not built for me. I'm not doing it. Leave me alone.
Well,
leave me alone.
Well, you ain't an adult until you have kids.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. When you going to grow up and have kids? I don't know.
You don't know the true meaning of happiness until you have kids, they say. And more parents are on medication and depressed than anybody that I know.
Well,
because marriage and kids is the key to all happiness.
Whoever said that lied.
Procrastinating is a habit to break. Telling lies and being a jerk to those who you love.
I know. Don't be mean to your buddies.
Those are the people that love you, that care about you. And sometimes we're the meanest to those people. I think sometimes we're the meanest to those people because that's who we're closest with, and we feel like there's no filter.
Well, I don't know. I mean, would you look at it as you're being mean or you're venting? Like, if you're just being mean just to be a jerk,
That's true.
Then you just a jerk.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you're friends with somebody, you don't bully that person.
No, why would you? Why would you want to hurt your little buddy? That's
Right,
your friend.
that's your friend. Why would you want to hurt your friend? But people will. If you got, okay, and I'm talking to my listeners out there. If you've got people out there that you think are your friends, and you consider them your friends, you're calling them your friends, your buddies, even if it's a group, and they're making fun of you all the time, they're bullying you all the time, they're making you feel bad about yourself. Those people are not your friends. Those people are bullies, and those people are your enemies, and they're probably jealous of you.
I just wonder if it's because we live in a society now where we feel we have to be friends with everybody, that we stay friends with people who will do that to us, because it's better, I guess, in societal views to be liked by everybody than to Be like, I'd rather just kick it by myself.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people, they don't want to lose a friend, but keep in mind, you're not losing a friend. That's a person you're cutting out that's toxic, and we don't need people. We don't need people like that. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Off the Cuff to take its Song of the Week break. This is a new one by my man Jack Harlow. It's called Nail Tech. We'll be right back after the song.
A secret. I don't wish for my success, I speak it. I caught a buzz and you did too, but you tweaking. I look like I've been getting money, how reeking. You smell me, that's LV. Walk around with my chest out and my skin smooth, I'm healthy. I'm in a mix and I'm handshaking, but most of y'all can't help me. Most of y'all ain't wealthy. Most of y'all just dress like it. I caught the vibe that y'all giving off and I'm trying to make myself less like it. This chick got a little Porsche body, I might let the bro test drive it. It's hard for me to get excited. I love music and stretch body. My city hauling, I'm co-signing this wave coming up next out it. Ride around in the shotgun and her Tesla. Hanging both of my legs out it like what's up? I got steaks and they too hot now I can't up. I like girls that's down to earth so don't be stuck up. I don't take L's, I give them out and I chuck them up. First listen, they hearing this like what the
Pull up your astrology.
10 toes, that's my MO.
No, I've got it.
Fam over gram, that's my MO. Close friends, I got friends that I keep close and they let it go while I reload. Like, bow, bow, bow. TSA just opened my book bag up and my chain hitting like, bow, 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 bow. King's back in his hometown when them wheels hit and I touch down, they, bow, 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 bow. She down low 3-point stance, I'm back there doing jack dance like,
okay, how we'll do this is, as soon as I'm done reading, you say the word and then read. So when I say Aries, prosperity is just around the corner. Aries, if it isn't here already, all your efforts. Oh, it's trying to block me. Facebook is.
Just keeps going how I wrote it. How the hell do you doubt us? I mean, back then it made sense, but it's like now what? Now they down to come round just to be round us. You ain't one of my dogs, why do you hound us? There's very few of you I like, but there's a whole lot of y'all I don't trust. Cause 10 toes, that's my MO. Fam over gram, that's my MO. Close friends, I got friends that I keep close and they let it go while I reload. Like, bow, bow, bow. TSA just opened my book bag up and my chain hit like, bow, 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 bow. King's back in his hometown when them wheels hit and I touch down, they, bow, 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 bow. She down low 3-point stance, I'm back there doing jack dance like, bow, 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 bow.
Amber, you know I don't have the social media app TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you don't have it at all?
I don't have that. No. Personally, I do not personally have that app. Because I was kind of against making TikTok videos.
Yeah.
But Amber, I have discovered this thing called Reels. And Reels is an Instagram or Facebook version of what TikTok is. It's basically the same concept of just making little small short 15 20-second videos and posting it online. Well, I've got into making some of those.
I've seen.
So you can go to my Instagram page at @theadambanks and you can look at some of the reels that I've made. They're just quick little 10-15 second reels. And what blows my mind about these stupid reels is that I do these in one take and I don't think about it much at all. I just ghost it and post it. Or I post it and I ghost it. Just meaning I post it and I don't look at it anymore. I just I leave it. But so what I'll do is I'll post it and then I'll ghost it and then I'll come back and I'll look like an hour later and my video's got 1,000 views. and then I'll be like, huh? And then I'll look 30 minutes later and it's got 2,000 views. And then I'll look 30 minutes more later and it's got 1,000 more views. So it's got like 3,000. So I'm like, why in the world are these blowing up? But I'm liking it.
Because they're hilarious.
They are. They're funny. They're just
Like,
little short videos.
Look, guys, he made one. You know, if this doesn't make you want to go check it out, you made that one with Michael Jackson playing, you know, about your neighbors, just blaring the music. And I swear, I laughed because you know that was me at one point. I'm like, God, I feel you.
Yes, and so many other people can feel it, but it just goes to show you how powerful social media can be. I mean, it makes me mad too because I can post a video about Off the Cuff and get 2 views, but then I'll post a silly reel and get 2,000 in 10 minutes. But that's funny. But ladies and gentlemen, we still got one more segment to go. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
10. Safe streets shape strong communities. School is back in session, which means lots of kids walking, biking, or scooting every morning and afternoon. Keep our city walkable by slowing down in neighborhoods and pedestrian-heavy areas like school zones. Slow down to keep our community safe, and never text and drive. Pay attention no matter how you're getting around. More info at lexingtonky.gov/safe streets.
Hey, got a question. This astrology, is this
It takes
today's
a
or
great community
yesterday's?
to make great communities.
Today's, okay.
Radio Lex cannot do it without you.
I want to
Support
let
the
you
voice
do a
of the
brief
people today.
description of what this
Visit
is, just really quick, because we only got 5 minutes.
RadioLex.us/donate and support Lexington's community radio right now.
Top 10 horoscopes.
Radio Lex has the support of vinyl sponsor Ann Dupree.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. Last segment of the hour. Amber, we've never talked about this next topic on the show. I'm talking about astrology. That's something that you know a little bit about, right?
I do.
What is astrology? Can you explain what astrology is, like what a zodiac sign is and all that good stuff?
Well, zodiac sign is just your placement, you know, as to which, when you're born, you know, everybody has one. You're an Aquarius, I'm a Cancer. But now, look, there's a lot of different things that factor into astrology. You've got your sun, your moon, your rising, ascending sign. So there's a lot of complexity that goes into it. But what we're going to do today is we're going to do horoscopes, which is something that everybody understands.
Horoscopes, and everybody's got a particular horoscope, and this is your horoscope for this particular day, February the 24th, 2022. All right, here we go. Aries, prosperity is just around the corner. Aries, if it isn't here already, all your efforts are about to pay off, and in a big way.
Taurus, there is passion in the air. Taurus, and you're convinced that you're the one electrifying the air around you. To be blunt, you can't think of anything but sex today. Why not invite a certain special someone for a home-cooked meal? Light a candle, open a bottle of wine, and see what happens.
Gemini, your head is somewhat in the clouds today, Gemini. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means that it is difficult for you to get any work done. Much as you'd rather be elsewhere, you really do need to stay focused on the projects at hand.
Cancer, you surprise yourself by signing up for a group lesson rather than a private one. This is unlike you. Nevertheless, you find that you enjoy the social interaction. It's bound to be fun and adventurous.
Leo, you've been working especially hard and you're beginning to wonder if all of your effort has been for naught. A restructuring at work leaves you wondering just exactly where you fit in or if you even fit in at all.
Virgo, you're bubbling over with confidence and enthusiasm. Not surprisingly, those around you respond in kind. Your smile is contagious, and you have people joking and laughing with you throughout the day. You'll have much success in whatever you do.
Libra, your natural intuition and sensitivity will be heightened today, Libra. You're able to read the thoughts and feelings of others and interpret them accurately. Alas, you can't use this skill as effectively as on yourself. Some old issues have reemerged, causing you some distress.
Scorpio, a new relationship is likely to form soon, and it will probably be with someone you already have in your life. Perhaps it's someone you knew in high school and just recently got back in touch with. Or perhaps a colleague at work suddenly begins to pay you a lot of attention. Romance is definitely in the air.
Sagittarius, your head is somewhat in the clouds today, Sagittarius. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means that it's difficult for you to get any work done. Much as you'd rather be elsewhere, you really do need to stay focused on the projects at hand.
Capricorn, your heart and intuition will rule today much more than your mind. Trust what your instinct tells you. Capricorn, if you're in sales or a sales profession, you can expect the orders to come rolling in today, as your extrasensory perception helps you know your clients' needs almost before they do.
Aquarius, your creative nature will no longer be repressed, Aquarius. As you look around your home, you realize you feel the need to spruce it up a bit, motivated by a desire to give dinner parties and invite family members who live far away to come for a visit. You get to work repainting, wallpapering, and maybe even sending that sofa out to be reupholstered. The final result will be fantastic, Aquarius. You'll be proud.
Pisces, you've always had psychic abilities, and today it is at its peak. Perhaps not coincidentally, you are likely to be contacted by a close friend or lover from your past. He or she isn't calling to renew your relationship, but rather for advice. Listen closely and advise what your heart tells you is right.
Well, that was fun.
I know.
There's your daily horoscope.
Aquarius says you're trying to have dinner parties at your house. Does that mean I'm going to get an invite soon?
Sometimes these can be spot on. So it makes me wonder if, what does it say here? Your creative nature will only, let's see, as you look around your home, you'll realize you feel the need to spruce it up a bit. Very true, because I just moved in.
Mm-hmm.
Motivated by desire to give dinner parties and invite family members who live far away. Now, you know that ain't true, because I don't like
I don't like
company with like, I just don't like cleaning up after company.
I feel you.
But everybody, there is your horoscope. Whatever you are, if you're an Aquarius, if you're a Capricorn, if you are a Cancer, if you're a Pisces, whatever, we read your daily horoscope. That was fun. But that's about all this week we have here on Off the Cuff. If you like what you heard today, I'm sure you will like our previous episodes. So check them out on podcast by going to Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube, or wherever you could find your podcast. You can listen to new episodes every Thursday right here on WLXU 93.9 from 4 to 5. You can follow the co-host Amber on social media at Ambu447. You can follow me, the host, on social media at The Adam Banks. You can follow the show on social media at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Amber Turner. I'm Adam Banks, and this is Off the Cuff. We'll see you next week.